Hi, I'm Brenda Dirk, and I'm a singer, songwriter, producer, and a member of Adam's private mentorship, the Billboard 500 Club. And you're here on Music Industry Contact's YouTube channel, where we do in-depth breakdowns of hit songs. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down Got That Beat by Step Back, and I'm super excited. I've never heard this song before. So thank you to whoever recommended we listen to it. Also, if you didn't already know, we can't monetize these videos here on YouTube. So our Patreon Golden Ear community means the world to us. Over on our Patreon, we have more exclusive content only found in that community, including early access to videos and polls so you can help us decide the next songs that we break down. So if you have a song that you're dying to hear broken down, join us on our Patreon Golden Ear community. So if you have been supporting our channel, we just want to say a huge thank you so much. It really does help, and we appreciate you being there. If you haven't yet, click the link in the description to pledge and join us there. So without further ado, let's get into Got That Beat, Step Back.
You must step back, 어딜 봐. 누가 누구라고 날 지켜. 이쯤에서 물러나고 있다는 게 좋을까? 아니 머리 한번 겨울러와 보던가. 내게 사랑을 했었니? 석급장문처럼 어딜 때 인간이 길이 좀 네가 그렇겠니? 소시적 촉발이 그리 재밌니? 내 남잔 지금은 another level. 너 따위 꿈도 못 꿀 level. 날 가진 그런 next level. 보다시 피어나던 level. Don't bring it to me 꺼져줘. 내 거에서 손 떼는 step back. 다시 태어나도 안.
This is a trippy song. Okay, I gotta listen to that from the beginning. A few notes already. The interesting vocal chop that they have coming right off the top. I don't know what it is, but it catches my ear immediately. And I'm just like, what are they saying? What are they singing? I need to know ASAP, like what they're doing. So that really catches my ear as a listener and brings me into the song. They also add this clap in the second half of it that kind of adds, and it kind of adds the hype. And they added this really funky bass line running into the verse. So let's listen to it again. Ooh, da, da. I love adding chanting sections in the back. Even if we don't know what they're saying, it's something really cool that people can repeat. And also something about it feels tribal and it just pulls you into it. They also have this in the back. And then they have more interesting vocal chops. Ah, and then they start the clapping and have those screams in the back.
You must step back, 어딜 봐. 누가 누구라고 날 지켜. 이쯤에서 물러나고 있다는 게 좋을까? 아니 머리 한번 겨울러와 보던가. That bass line, it's nothing you would really hear placed in a song, because it comes off strong. You're like, okay, that's a dope bass line. And then the second time it comes around, it like trips up, and it sounds like it glitches. The third time it glitches. I do think they glitched it 1, 2, 3 times in the progression. And then the last one, they went back to the first one singular glitch, but it just feels like it's not right. You're like, that should not be in the song. Like, it doesn't really have a structure to that bass line. Like it does, but it doesn't, and it just doesn't feel right. But it makes you want to listen because you're like, what? I've never heard that before. That shouldn't be in the song. Yeah.
Okay, there is a little crash in that section as a transition sound. This is weird. This is weird. Okay, what's happening? Okay, all these sounds are just like it feels haunting. It almost feels like metal scraping, but it's not. It's like a piano, and they somehow like EQ'd it or played with the sound to make it sound like it's scraping something. And then this really, I think that's a cello, boom, or a bass, like a stand-up bass going boom. They did a power 2 there with that melody line. And then so listen out for that. Same bass sound, just a different progression. It was more like a dun 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 to pick it up because it's going into the chorus. Now this is the pre-chorus going into the chorus. And it sounds like they added another section in the back, like more female choiry freaky sounds that they've been doing. And they added background ad-libs that sounded harmonized as well. Yeah. So they were harmonizing. I think there's 2 harmonies on that ad-lib. Don't bring it. I think there was 3 harmonies on that one. Don't bring it to me, gajada. Don't bring it to me, kamacha. Don't bring it to me, kamacha. So they're doing that. And that was a transition sound leading into the chorus. That's so cool that they used like a vocal stack, almost like ad-lib type vibe, repeating the line they just said. Yeah, that's such a cool transition. Did they strip the instruments there too? Yeah, they had a reverb on our high note. And then so that reverb added into that like transition, added into that transition sound. So that was a really cool way to flow into that. They brought in that bass. They were foreshadowing with that bass because they didn't give you much of that bass, but you're like, guess what? We're going to trip you up with this bass and then we're going to bring it back to the chorus. I love it. I love the stacks. It's so interesting. Not often do you hear in songs that the chorus has those background stacks, like they're ad-libs, but they're stacked ad-libs. That's so interesting. Okay, let me listen to that section again. It's so interesting. Not oftentimes, like in K-pop songs, I've noticed that you never really hear 3 of the same standards, like dun 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 dun, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. In traditional pop, it repeated again 3 times. Stop it, stop it. Like in traditional pop songs, it'll do that. But I notice in K-pop songs, they really love their powers of 2s. So they did the stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Then they went into a part that really showcases their voice. I I like the progression. The bass is less trippy by the sounds of it, but I like it, the progression of this. Woo, I love that. And the bass matches the percussion. It's like they brought that back, that clap, and then more percussion elements to accentuate. And I always find it interesting. This is something I really enjoy about K-pop songs is they have so many different sections. Like we haven't heard this vocal section yet. And they just completely change it up on us. Oh, that's saucy. I love it. That was really interesting because every line is a little bit different to fit the vocalist, but if you pay attention, the way they sing that last word is always the same. Like you could have maybe even a little bit of different rhythm in the beginning, but that last word, the way they pronounce it and sing it is always the same. Like listen, the way they throw it away.
Are you looking for fun? 재미도 찾니? 허위로 다가와 이미 계산 끝나 공회상의 보물선을 보기라도 한대 맘대로 시작해 transaction.
So they took the bass part out in this and they added a new chant. And they have a snare drum, just a snare to bring it back because you had that up clap in verse 2. So you had like a really high energy moment, and then they bringing it back because they're getting us ready for the next chorus, but they're like, we already gave you a lot of sonic information. Your ears are like, okay, we heard a lot of tasteful sounds, now it's time to bring it back to one of these chanty parts. And then okay, the way like those little the voices that they use are so unique and interesting. Like you could tell it's loaded full of personality. So that's something that you could really incorporate in your songs, is like something I like to think about when I'm recording. Is this how I would say it? You know, like today, like, what you looking at me for? Like, what you looking at me for? Like having different ways of singing it. Or if I wouldn't say it like that, what's another interesting way I'd say it? Like, what you looking at me for? You know, and then playing with different laughs in between, or even the way you say the word. What you looking at me for? You know, like just the way you say it adds so much character, and it really shows who you are as a person. Because like, how would you say that line? How would you say that line? And then always making sure that you're ending it the same way. I like that too. No, always looking for the transaction. That's really cool. They did like an octave jump. So the first one they went ah, and then the second one they went lower. But this time they climbed it. Same melody. So it's they're just playing with different octaves, which is really interesting. But they're keeping the melody the same. So they technically did a power 2. They were just switching it up on us. They did a power 3. They did a power 3 there. Finally, a K-pop song with like a power 3. That was amazing. They do it in the ad libs, but like to have a stanza. They did that, and then And then they did that part twice. So they repeated that. So it was 3 lines saying the same way, which I loved. They're also adding trippy percussion. So they've tripped up the percussion. They added that different pre-chorus. They added a different verse 2, a different pre-chorus. They switched it up on us. And then listen to the percussion. Like, this song is very trippy. It's using those chanty sounds that you haven't really heard. A lot of sounds that like make you go, ooh, a little bit, but it's cool. And then there's like, like their kick drum is doing some weird stuff. And they have a snare keeping the beat. And a hi-hat. Snare and a hi-hat keeping the beat. It's almost like the kick drum's doing that. So they're adding more harmonies now onto their chant. So in the first chorus, they had this K-pop girl group chant, and second chorus, they have the same thing, but they're adding more harmonies and they're showing off their vocals a little bit more. I love the Sorry. Okay, let's listen to this part. Okay, this is so cool. Okay, where's that breakdown? They used that same bass line, just a boom, and then dragged it down for the transition sound to go into that. And their chant had some reverb. I think they're breach. They might be saying something. They said breach. Interesting. With the bass line going down. Then we have some pretty synth, sparkly sounds in the back. Almost like a pop version of jazz. A little bit. That's cool. Now they're picking it up. They're adding the snares. I love the A's. They're adding the claps to bring it back up. I really like this section because they brought it down. They added like completely different sonic information. They had none of this throughout the entire song. They're like, you know what? We're going to bring it down all the way down. Even in the video, they went down. So that's really cool how they did that. And it gave your ears a nice break because this song, by the looks of it, is 3 minutes and 50 seconds. I wouldn't recommend doing a song over 3 minutes and 30 seconds, what they did, but they have so many different sections. It almost feels like a new song in each section. So the first verse had its own melodic structure. The choruses stay the same. Second verse is different. The pre-choruses are different to add more energy in the song. And then the bridge, they took it completely down for a moment. And then they started building it back up really quick. Like, it's already built up. See, they added a new chant. They're doing
bring it on.
Okay. My brain had to process that. K-pop is cool.
Girls, bring it on. Step back, silly girl. Step back, silly girl.
Oh,
Girls, bring it on.
so she says, girls, bring it on. Something everybody would want to say. So they bring it way down to like this quiet section. And then they start bringing it up and they use some really like da 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 da, some in your face melodies. And then they hit you with something you would totally say that's TikTokable. And then they took it in this they brought it back down again, but in a completely different way that you haven't heard. That's like a broken, ooh, or it sounds like something they use in country music where it's like, you like put it in your teeth and you play it and it's like a like ding and it's like a bluegrass instrument. It almost sounds like it's that.
Bring it on. Step back.
With some very bouncy sounds. They added a synth here.
Silly girl.
A cowbell. Oh, panning with the synth. I love some good panning.
The only girl who live in dreams. Step back, silly girl. Don't bring it to me 'cause I'll try.
I love that. They say one thing. This is like a showcase vocals moment. It brings you back. It's like, did you see my voice, my face? I was literally in shock. And then they showcase their voice, like, step back, silly girl. Another TikTokable moment. I feel like if there's a TikTokable moment in the song, this is it. There's just so many crazy things going on in this section that were really cool. And if I were listening to this song with friends, I would wait. I'd be like, okay, guys, you have to wait till we get to the bridge. And I would make them listen to the whole thing just so they can hear this crazy things that they're doing with the instrumentation at the end. You know, it's very cool. And that's really interesting because they just did two different like bridges. That sounded like two bridges to me, which is so cool. Actually it sounded like a bridge, a pre, and then another bridge. Okay, I'm adding this song into my arsenal of songs that I need to like really study, break down the everything for. Like this is really cool, and I'm going to be incorporating some of these elements into my songs. But yeah, then they go back into the chorus and it's just, I think they just have a snare, right?
Don't bring it to me 'cause I'll try.
They had one bass as a transition sound in her high vocal with some reverb on it. And they entered the chorus with a boom.
Don't bring it to me 'cause I'll try.
They're just using a snare and we're doing the chorus and it's empty aside from that, other than their stacked vocals. These are stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks. Adding that same sound from the beginning that they used in the background with the snare, with just the tick, 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 tick. Oh. Then they add the kick in briefly as just the boom, and then they bring the bass back in for the second half of the chorus. With the bass, they added a boom, boom sound in the back to accentuate that bass. Okay, and then they're using that creepy sound from the beginning, which is the boom that they added in the chorus now. And they ended with that sound. They only introduced that sound in the very last chorus, the boom, to accentuate the bass. And then, this is so cool. This is so cool. This is a really cool song. I really enjoyed this song. I'm a little shook. What just happened? Okay, so they had interesting sounds throughout this entire song. Like every section was something completely different that you've never heard before. I would consider this song a very unique song. It had lots of wait for it moments. The stacks were incredible on everything. The ad libs, the production on this though is really cool. And then the way they sectioned it, I'm like pretty sure they had a double bridge, or that was a verse bridge. I don't know what you would consider that, but that was so cool. They had a double bridge leading out, and then completely added new sounds to the second bridge. That like both of those songs, the bridges sounded like two different songs. Like it should not be a part of this track, but they were like, you know what? They're cool. We're going to put it in. Every sound I heard was something I had not heard before. They had this chanty tribal thing. And in each section, it seemed like they brought in a new aspect of that chant. And it was just so haunting. It was like metal scratching, but it was so cool at the same time. So I am a fan of this. I like how they changed up the choruses, how they added harmonies in the second chorus to bring it to the next level. I enjoyed how they brought the track down and up and had moments of release and tension throughout the entire song. Like I didn't get bored listening to this entire song. It's 3 minutes and 50 seconds. So I'm still getting over this. This was really, really cool. All right, so before I give my final thoughts on the song, I wanted to thank you for checking out my breakdown. Got that beat. Step back. They definitely got that beat. They got their beats covered. But if you like it, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more. So, okay, things that I was really impressed with, the sounds that they used. I was really impressed with the sounds, how every section was completely unique. And I really loved the soundscape of it. That bass at the beginning that tripped me up. I understand why they did it. It was so like I got involved in the song, but it kind of, I don't know. I wasn't a total fan of that bass. I get why they did it, but I think they could have used maybe like a grittier bass and kind of brought our attention in a different way, but it was so great. I loved this, it's just a crazy track. It's really good. They did great production. I enjoyed the two bridges that they had in the chorus. That was really cool. And their vocal stacks, but it was just a production for me. It was simple percussion, just in the fact of the sounds they used. It was just all the and the chants that they used that really elevated the track for me. So the soundscape of the song, the samples that they chose just blew me out of the water, and the structure of the song is totally crazy. If you guys want to learn how to produce really cool things like this, they have the producer breakdown in the club, which really helped me pick out these elements. So if you saw the way that I picked out that boom at the end, it really teaches you how to listen to a song differently and pick out those little aspects and be like, oh, there's reverb on that. Oh, and they're doing this. Oh, and they're putting a high synth to keep the tension. And then you can really break down every single instrument that they're using within these tracks. So I definitely recommend the production breakdowns in the Billboard 500.com. Things I disliked about this track. Okay, for me, it probably is the step back. Like that was the title of the song and they repeated it, but I don't know if it really stuck in my head. The hook didn't stick in my head. It was more so I was shocked by the production that they were bringing to the table, but that title didn't really stick in my head because there's too much going on. The two verses were completely different. They didn't really have a melodic structure that they followed. Like I said, there was only one moment where they had 3 melodic structures that were the same. And I think that really embeds a melody into your head. So I felt like it was missing that, like a solid moment for the hooks to shine and repeat itself. Like there's just too much changing that I didn't even really remember the hook. Aside from that, I really enjoyed their high moments. I enjoyed their voices, their singing, the stacks, everything was great. I just would have loved if they even added chants in that bridge section, like step back, or as some of the chanting, if they added step back, so I'd remember the title. So when I'm like, oh, what's that really cool song that I heard that I want to show my friends because the production is wild, I don't know if I would remember the title. So yeah, that would be my only thing that I would change, is just adding more step back and really putting that hook in there. But aside from that, the song was crazy. It was crazy cool. So thank you to whoever recommended it. All right, so if you are a musician looking for more knowledge into the industry, more friends to write songs with, more opportunities for people to hear your music, I would definitely recommend joining and applying to the Billboard 500 Club. There's a lot of mentorship in there. We have over 70 mentors who are some of the most successful people in the music industry, teaching up and comers just like yourself. So don't wait too long. There is limited capacity. We're shutting it off at 500 people. So come join the club, come write songs with me, come hang out. I would love to see you guys there. And it is really a family. Like a month ago, I was in Costa Rica with everybody hanging out that I met on the internet during the pandemic. So the people are great. The people are great. So come join, come write. We have writing camps all the time. It's a lot of fun. And we break down songs just like this all the time. So once again, my name is Brenda Dirk, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to check out some of my music, I have a song out called Am I Cool Yet? And yeah, it's a really cool song. I hope you guys like it. Thank you for listening. Check it out. And I will see you guys soon with some more videos for Music Industry Contact's YouTube channel. Okay, bye friends.